Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with another episode on Hildreth Investigates. As today, we're going to talk about the recent court filings from the Charlie Kirk case. I think it's Utah v. Tyler Robinson. Uh, I have seen a lot of people being tricked, fooled, confused by the recent court filings that their analyst uncovers no conclusive link to the suspect rifle. Now, I did a little bit of research on this. So, the gun enthusiasts out there, please put down in the comments, kind of correct me if I'm wrong. I have no issue with being wrong here. But just correct me throughout the video if I am wrong about something. So before we get into the article here, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And if you're on Rumble, make sure to like and follow as well. Let's dive into the Mercury news. I think it's the Mercury news. They really need to use like normal font. Don't need the old English letters anymore. Anyway, that was a weird side rant, but anyway. Charlie Kirk bullet analysis uncovers no conclusive link to suspect's rifle. This coming from Jessica Shaladbeck. I apologize if I'm butchering the name, which I undoubtedly am. But anyway, attorneys for Tyler Robinson, the man accused of fatally shooting Charlie Kirk last year, are seeking to delay his legal proceedings after they said federal authorities were unable to conclusively link a recovered bullet fragment, or they were unable to conclusively link a recovered bullet fragment to the alleged murder weapon. Now, here's where people are either misunderstanding, confused by it, or just outright lying. It's out there, and it's an unfortunate reality, especially in a case that is politically as charged as this. And I'll get into that whole tangent here in a second, but I want to strictly talk about this part here. So, what I believe was used was a hollow point 30-06. And again, I've done a little bit of research. I'm not a gun enthusiast. And put in the comments correcting me if I am wrong here. But I think there was a hollow point used. And for those who don't know, the hollow point is exactly as it sounds. The tip of the bullet is hollow. So, when it makes impact, all the force is going directly into the impact. Now, it's not going to leave this big gaping hole like a shotgun blast. It's going to leave a small hole going in. But it's going to be an utter mess on the inside. And should it go all the way through, it's going to leave a massive mess in the back. But what the prosecutors are saying is, in, I believe, the FBI and whoever is all the agencies and CSI people that are working on it, they're saying that the bullet went into Charlie's spine. And with that, here's how that could have happened. So the bullet makes impact, and because it's a hollow point, it's actually going to create almost like a parachute type, where the bullet's going to mangle itself, and it's going to veer off course. And the term that was used when I was looking it up, was it was going to yaw, which I've seen it more as a racing term, but whatever. And it's going to veer off course essentially and go into Charlie Kirk's neck, or into Charlie Kirk's spine. And because of the bone density of his spine, it was able by that point to stop the bullet. And I know people are split on it. That's fine. We're still at a stage where there is so much speculation out there, which is kind of why I've kind of stepped back from the case, along with some personal feelings I have, because I do love and admire Charlie Kirk. But that is for the Hildreth Headline channel. And because I want to keep this channel as apolitical as possible, I only want to talk about the facts of the case here, and going off what we are getting with this court filing, what it sounds like. As I mentioned, a hollow point bullet was used. The bullet collapsed on impact, yawed into it, turned into Kirk's neck, and came to rest in Charlie's spine. That is what I'm believing happened, given the evidence here and my limited research. So, with that being said, obviously a lot of people know, but I'll explain it for those who may not, because it might be people that just getting into true crime. We want to reach as many people as possible, because the more minds we have, the more likely we can get to the truth. And much like the Idaho 4, that's all I want out of this case. I want the truth. And the and so the way that they match the bullet to the gun is the with like grooves on the side of the bullet. Well, when a bullet is pretty much flattened on impact, it's going to be hard, if not impossible, to line up ridges and grooves from a rifle. And thus, the and the investigative team is not going to be able to conclusively say this absolutely came from the gun that is owned by Tyler Robinson. They cannot say that. Now, it doesn't mean that it did. It doesn't mean that it didn't. It just says it's pretty much, we can't say for sure. Now, given the evidence of having DNA consistent with Robinson's was found on the trigger of the firearm, the fired cartridges, fired cartridge, 2 unfired cartridges, it doesn't look good for Mr. Robinson. But his defense team has noted that forensic reports indicate multiple people's DNA was found and requires further investigation. So it's a wait and see. Again, very early in this case yet. We're nowhere near any sort of conclusion, case closed, anything like that. So it's gonna be a while. Obviously, this trial is going to be broadcasted throughout the world for millions to see, and we will see what kind of cards everybody has when they are laid on the table when we get to trial. And last I checked, Bill Thompson isn't running this case, isn't the prosecutor in this case. So there shouldn't be any sort of plea deal at the 11th hour. So we'll see what happens. As I said, there's a long way to go. But make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next one.